Chopi, vamos, teniendo el security check. Hagamos buddies. ¿Usted tiene sus buddies ahí? No, yo me quedo acá pillada.
Yep, we're all set. Good luck.
Who wants to start? Who wants to tell me a little bit about why we're here, why we're doing this show?
You were doing it totally right. Please, all of my actors.
We just want to get people's attention about what's happening with the U.S. citizens and the TPS recipients.
Mama, please be with me. I can't sleep. Mama, I can't sleep. Do you hear me? Just close your eyes. I try, Mama. And every time I do, I only see the monsters like they're hiding behind my eyelids. Please tell me a story, so this will be the last thing I remember.
Okay, mija, a story. Había una vez, a girl lived in a faraway land. The land was green, full of rolling hills and fruit. The girl lived far up in the hills in a small town.
We're trying to get congressmen and the senators to change their minds about their decision to do this to the TPS families.
Salvadoran immigrants have to leave the U.S. The move affects nearly 200,000 people. Salvadorans were granted temporary protected status after a series of earthquakes devastated that country in 2001.
You may have heard of this temporary protected status, a term that you'll be hearing a lot more of in the coming years. Today, 200,000 immigrants from El Salvador are being told that after 16 years, their time is up. In many cases, they'd have to return with their U.S.-born children who are actually citizens of the United States.
They are not required to take the children with them as U.S. citizens. The children are allowed to stay here, but families don't want to be separated. People often feel like they have no choice, and to the extent they do have a choice, it's pretty draconian. Leave your children and abandon them, or take them back with you to a country that you don't want them to go to.
In order for my sisters and I to stay in this country, I'd be 18 so I can legally take care of them, but I'd have to drop out of school, get a full-time job, and provide for them like a mother. So I'd basically become a mother of 3 at 18.
And how old are they, your sisters?
Right now, one is 16, 14, and 9.
Okay. And why wouldn't you go back home with your parents?
It's really dangerous over there, especially for young adults and teenagers and children. There's too much gang violence right now going on, and their main targets and focus are the young people.
Young people. Have you been there?
No.
How old are you again?
17.
17. So for 17 years, you've never been there.
No.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Brian, when we did that first storytelling workshop, it was your story, or one of the stories that really jumped out at us as something where we realized we have to do more. And it was a little bit about what you're worried about as TPS is running out, right? Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
So basically I usually never spend time with my dad. So as soon as I found out the news that they might be canceling, I got really worried. So I basically spent every single moment I can with him. Just helping him around the house, doing anything just to spend time with him.
Well, thanks. Thanks for sharing that, Brian. Does anybody else want to share a couple of things? What are the conversations you guys have with your parents at home? Or what are the things that you're worried about?
Some conversations we have with my parents is that I will have to be staying here and possibly moving in with my youngest aunt. She's 23, I think, and she's a citizen. So I'll probably have to move in with her and with my 2 siblings and 1 on the way. My mom is now 7 months, so she's pretty soon going to have my other brother. And she just says that there's technically no life in El Salvador. I wouldn't have the best education I would be getting here. But either way, if I were to be taking school here, I wouldn't have that support of a parent that I would usually always have. So it would be really hard for me and my family because we're all attached to my parents, especially my 2 younger brothers. And recently I've been fighting with my parents a lot about very certain things. And it kind of just what if at one point we do get separated? What will happen? And I don't want to end up getting separated in a bad place. In general, I don't want to be separated from a family. So that's what scares me the most. And those are the type of conversations we usually have with my parents. I'm going to have to be staying here because it's very dangerous in El Salvador.
Thank you. Sophia, I remember you shared a story with us or a wish to see the president and ask him a question. Do you remember that wish?
Yes, I would tell the president if I would meet him that did he have to worry that your parents were going to be sent away just when you were just 9? Did you have to worry that you might not be able to see your parents again for a long time? Would you have to worry that you will just have to be with your sisters and have no support?
Sophia, could you tell us about some of the times that you guys all have together? Just a story about, you guys told us a lot of stories about all of the really fun things that you guys have all done together.
Well, other members can help too.
I remember learning how to ride a bicycle with Pancha. I remember we went to the lake once and me and Gatti couldn't swim and we were swimming together. So I guess if TPS is taken away, we'll have to be separated. In the play, there's a part where Brian says he'll have to move to Texas, which is hard because we've been friends since we were little.
Yeah.
I don't remember one good memory without one person in this room. And I guess that says something.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. I'm really, really appreciating that you're helping us to make this play with your story. I know how difficult it is for you overly go and relive these stories on a stage and telling it to people. But this story is touching me and every member of our company, and our hope is to be able to share this story with more people so they understand where you're coming from. So the TPS would not just be a word to them or a type of visa, but understanding that we're talking about human beings and human lives and a family. Hopefully we're going to be able to share this story with a lot more people. Let's just get ready for the show.
And find some tissue.
Did you already know about it? My mom told me yesterday.
They hate us. They don't want us here anymore.
We are honored to welcome the Boston Experimental Theater and TPS Massachusetts for their show, The Last Dream. These young people are the people who will change our world.
They don't want us here anymore. Do you not understand that? Next year,
None of us are going to be here to celebrate for Sophia. None of us.
We're performing over there.
They said the announcement's gonna come sometime today or tomorrow. They're canceling for all of them. No exceptions, it's for sure.
I know it's gonna be hard, and it's scary to think of it. But it's Sophia's birthday. 10. She's turning 10. Right? I remember your 10th birthday. How happy you were.
Wait! They made the announcement.
Ending special protections for Salvadoran immigrants. The move affects nearly 200,000 people. Salvadorans were granted temporary protected status after a series of earthquakes devastated that country in 2001. They earned this temporary protected status.
My name is Kathy. My quinceañera is in March, but won't be able to celebrate it. If my parents leave, I'll have to become a mom to my siblings and move in with my aunt and uncle. I know I'm strong enough, but why do I have to go through this?
I want to become a dentist, but if my family's treated as temporary, those dreams will die. I have to get a full-time job and be a mother to all my sisters. I don't know how I'll do that if they don't even listen to me, and Sophia's so young, so little.
My name's Angela, I'm 13 and I just started 8th grade. I love school, music, and my new baby sister. I'm afraid that if my family is treated as temporary, I won't be able to see my only sister grow up.
The other thing that we need to talk about is our opportunity that we're going to have a real conversation with people who make the laws, right? So, have you all had a chance to really think about something or some things that you want to ask?
We just came up with a question. If y'all were to put yourselves in our shoes, what would you do and what would you want others to do?
So, who wants to speak here? Okay, yes, sir. Who are you?
My name is Joseph Arias.
Joseph,
I
where
have
are you
a
from?
little brother. I'm from Malden.
Okay, beautiful.
I have
What
a
street?
little Hazelwood Street.
Are you related? To Salvador?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a little brother that's 5 years old. Also, my dad, he has this company, and he employs like 30 people. And if he were to lose his TPS, then he would have to go back to El Salvador, and all of those people lose their jobs and not be able to pay taxes.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. They have really been looking forward to the opportunity to talk to you. So if you could stay, that would be great. And if you have questions, please ask.
I thought that I was following what was happening, but seeing you here and what you're doing makes the horror of this development come into our hearts and our minds. And the benefit from this is if we all follow up, not only with our thoughts and prayers, but with our actions. So thank you.
How, as you members of Congress, how may you help us appeal to other members of Congress who aren't in favor of us, and how may we make them see the humanitarian crisis behind all of this? Because this isn't just deporting immigrants from countries with TPS. This is separating families with, stable lives and everything, all U.S. citizen children.
There are two types of people here, people who agree with you and people who you got to convince. the reason why it's important for you to come to talk to both groups is because people agree with you need to do more. You need to fight harder, and you're all compel us to fight harder. But I really believe that telling stories, that's why I think this is so effective. I think, you know, we're inundated with facts and figures and statistics and numbers, but sometimes people here don't realize that there are real human beings behind some of these policies, and I think it's really, really important telling those human those personal stories.
Personally, my family, every 18 months that they have to renovate, they always have to go to the place, and they have to check their fingerprints, make sure they've not been in any bad stuff. Our parents are not criminals at all, and think about how, because if we were criminals, they would have taken us out a long time ago. Every single 18 months, they have to check that we are on tippy-top shape, perfect residents of this country, and make sure that we are doing our best, that we are working and everything. They have to make sure that everything is good. And
What you just said, I would be willing to bet that the majority of members of Congress do not know, and that is your parents who have TPS have to register every 18 months with the federal government, have to go through background checks. So not only are they not criminals, they're the most law-abiding people in this country.
Mama, where did they go? Help me, Mama, please. Will you help me? Will you help me?